Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tri-nation Dota 2 friendly match between My Revenge and Team Blizzard. So it's going to be Nepal taking on Maldives in game number one. So taking a look at the draft right now, we have Sand Team being banned out, Earthquake being banned out, we have Winter Wyvern being banned out, and we have Troll Bowler being taken out. Interestingly enough, when they have the Razor already picked up in the second pick. But Spirit Breaker and Reza are going to be the openers for My Revenge, and on the side of Team Blizzard, it's going to be Enchantress being banned out, it's going to be Timbersaw, Meepo, as well as Lifestealer being banned out by Team Blizzard at this moment right now, picking up the Pudge and the Tiny. So very interesting combination coming out from Team Blizzard. It's a very unorthodox type of pickup, but they're probably just playing to their strength. It is a friendly game, so we'll see how both these teams do. And with that, just give me a second because I just need to turn this on, and hello, I should be working. And with that, let's get back into the game. So right now it's the second phase last ban for the side of My Revenge. We'll introduce the teams, we'll introduce the players once we do get into the game. So it should be a pretty interesting game. So we'll be having more games throughout the day. This is the first of many. So we'll be having a game between so right now we're watching the game between Maldives and Nepal, and then we'll be having a match between Nepal and Sri Lanka, and then Maldives against Sri Lanka as well. So these teams will be having these teams will basically be having at least 3 games to play. And with that, My Revenge actually taking a decent amount of time to ban out their last hero. It'll be very interesting to see how all this works out. And with that, they actually take out the Queen of Pain, because Queen of Pain is actually quite decent against the Razor, because it's always nice, every time he uses the static link, you can just blink out of it and break it, and then after that just turn around, use the dart, free arrows. But we'll wait and see to see exactly what kind of pickup they're going to go for. And with that, Shaman being banned out, and now Shadow Demon being picked up. Shadow Demon has been pretty popular right now. Just because of the way most of these spells work. Shadow Poison, it's pretty decent. If you get a few stacks, it's a very good zoning tool as well, because it's always on the player's minds when you do have about 4 or 5 stacks on yourself. And then obviously with the HP reduction, or where you basically lose half your HP with his second skill, it basically kind of ruins the entire thing for you, because you can basically pop quite easily if the Shadow Demon player knows exactly what he's doing. But right now, they do have, Shadow Demon in general is pretty good. Usually we see it with the Mirana, or something that works well with the Shadow Demon, maybe Terra Blade, or any like Luna. Luna's Kashyap almost kind of come back into the meta. It's kind of weird how it works. Iron enables a decent amount of these heroes as well, so it'll be interesting to see who they pair up with the Shadow Demon. But right now it's decent setup, so we'll see how that works out. With that, we have an Omni Knight being picked up for the side of My Revenge. Omni Knight has been seeing some action as well with that with the repel changes and stuff, so it'll be very interesting to see how they kind of work the Omni Knight in this game. But it's very sustainable in lane, and very strong as well. Depends on who you're exactly laning against, but for now it looks pretty interesting. The drafts, they do have a decent amount of sustain, as well as a lot of the displacement potential, especially with the Pudge and the Tiny Toss. So a lot of displacement potential coming out from side of Team Blizzard, and a lot of burst damage as well. And Shadow Demon can obviously set up for the Tiny into that avalanche and toss as well, so you can get a decent amount of burst damage with that as well. And just give me a second, and yeah. Alright, so with that, we're going into the last pick of the second phase for Team Blizzard. It'll be interesting to see what they pick up right now. Given how their picks have been set up, it's very difficult to say, because we have seen a few offlane Pudges, but it's interesting until they actually go into the lane. We'll have to wait and see. Raze also fits into multiple roles. He can be played in mid lane, he can be offlane, he can be played as a safe laner as well. But looking at things, it's probably going to be the Omni Knight in the offlane. But with that, Razor could still go mid, or he could go safe lane, so they still have quite a flexible draft on the side of My Revenge. Tiny can go to multiple lanes as well, but I don't know how I feel about the hero. And with that, we have Juggernaut being picked up. Pretty good with the Shadow Demon in lane, because you can always set up for that spin, and once you get those boots, there's no running away. But Omni Knight might be able to sustain just because he does have that purification, but we'll come down how to the laning stage is actually played, and they get the lanes that they do need. So with that, we'll have to wait and see. So looking at things right now, they do have the Spirit Breaker who can cancel the spin, Juggernaut spin. If he does, if you know, if he has played the hero enough, I'm pretty sure at this level they know exactly what they're doing. So it'll be very interesting to see how the matchups kind of go and where they're going to place their heroes and how the laning stage kind of works out, because laning stage is very, very important when it comes to top tier teams taking on each other. So with that, we have a draw ranger being picked up. Alright, interesting. I haven't really seen this hero being picked up too much after the first few like the last few patches where draw was super strong. But interesting enough, looks like My Revenge is going for a very, very fast game looking at things. I mean, they do have a lot of the toolkit that they have really enables the draw if she has a good decent laning stage. They have the Omni-Knight heal, they have the Repel, they have the Guardian Angel, they have the Rage of the front line for you, they have the Spirit Break to run in and disrupt things. So if you do get hooked, you can send the Spirit Breaker in, and a lot of options for them. But likewise, even Team Blizzard has a decent amount. I mean, they have a lot of pick-off potential, to be honest. If the Tiny can get a decent timing on the blink, he can probably burst someone down, get that Echo Saber, and then he can probably kill the Draw Ranger as well as the Razor by himself. They have a lot of burst, especially if you have the Shadow Demon second, it only drops you down to half HP, so Tiny's burst potential is very, very high with the Shadow Demon as well. And then obviously Pudge's Hook and Dismember is another very good option for them as well. So it depends on how they actually take the team fights, but right now it's very interesting. So we have to see how the laning stage goes for both these teams. So with that, the last ban is going to be a Wind Ranger. So expecting the Razor to be safe lane at the moment with the Draw and Razor pickup, but I think My Revenge want to pick up some sort of a range hero right now just to synergize with the Draw Ranger and someone that will probably fit in with My Revenge's draft. So who is it going to be? We'll find out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a safe lane Draw Ranger, mid Razor, and off lane Omni Knight. So it might even be a support Omni Knight. It's hard to say. It can fit in either way. I think they might want to just pick it up as depends. It comes down to how the players kind of like their hero base as well. So at sometimes players just want to play the heroes that they enjoy playing as well. So because they don't really have anything to lose in these games, it's just about getting that experience and showcasing what they've got. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I think it'll be very fun match to see and just to compare where you stand with other countries as well. So it's very interesting to see. Just give me a second with that. Just give me a second, guys. Alright, so I believe the in-game sounds a little loud, so I'll reduce it a little bit. Bring it down to 30, and that should be fine. And it's going to be a Templar Assassin, alright. So mid TA, offlane Razor, safe lane Draw Ranger, Omni Knight, and Spirit Breaker as supports. Is this Omni 5 or Spirit Breaker 5? We'll wait and find out. And with that, so we'll have to wait for the last pick on the side of Team Blizzard to see how they round their things up for their team. So they do have Tiny, they have Juggernaut. So Juggernaut probably safe lane, Tiny either in the offlane or the mid lane will come down to this pick. They do have a decent amount of reserve time, 20 seconds, and here comes the pick. It's going to be Ember Spirit to deal with that TA. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. It'll come down to how well these two have played this matchup, but usually Ember is pretty decent against TA, but it comes down to the creeps positioning, to be honest. So we have to wait and see on that. And with that, getting into game number 1 between Nepal and Maldives. Let's see how it goes. We'll do the introductions once we do get into game. Excuse me. With that, some very nice sets actually. The Ember Spirit set is really nice. So these guys have definitely been playing for quite a while. So we'll see now, just loading the versus screen, and look at this, so gorgeous. The Lich King, and then right now we're not even going into the other team, just showing Ember Spirits loading, and now I'm just loading into the game. Alright. with that, so we're just gonna quickly introduce the teams, and with that we have on the Juggernaut. I actually can't see the name, so I won't be able to do this, but I will show it afterwards. But with that we have Roughneck playing the Juggernaut. We have position 1 to 3 playing the Pudge. We have Ned playing the Shadow Demon. We have Lich King playing that Ember Spirit, and we have OK playing the Tiny. So take a look at the sets. So the Juggernaut new sword looks really nice. Look at this. Look at that dragon. Very nice. And with that, and now the whoa, what is this? And with that, now we're just taking a look at the Pudge. The Pudge has a very it's not bad. It's not bad. The Shadow Demon set is really nice though. Look at this. He looks like the Shadow Demon just found his inner Ghost Rider. Oh, he actually has 3 faces. Ooh, that's nice. And then obviously the godlike Ember Spirit set. I don't know why this is happening, but yeah, very nice. And with that, let's head on over to the Radiant team and see. Just do a quick introduction to that team. Just give me a second, guys. Having a little bit of a flame, but with that, we have Templar Assassin being played by Learning. Then we have the Door Ranger being played by Position 1, No Adjust. And then How Average I Can Be is playing the Omni Knight. We have Position 5 Barra, not really. Interesting. I think it will depend on how the game goes, and then they'll decide on who's 5 and who's 4. But anyway, the Barra is going to be played by Nirvana, and my daddy said, "Stay away from Juliet." That's a very interesting name, but with that, he's going to be playing the offlane Razor, it looks like. So they've all picked up their items, and they're just waiting for the Pudge to reconnect. So this is a series of friendly games. So right after this, we'll be having 2 games between Nepal and Sri Lanka, and Maldives and Sri Lanka. So we'll have to wait and see on how those games kind of go as well right after this game is done. But for now, we are all waiting for some exciting Dota action, and there's a very interesting drafts being picked up by both of these teams. So it looks like it's going to be very non-stop battling action, but we'll wait and see on how the game goes. And with that, we are off game number 1, and with that, give me a second. Let me do this so I can cheat and do this. Yes. Just give me a second, guys. Just gonna put it on this. Just give me a quick second. Alright, with that, we're back, and I think that should fix most of our issues, and looks like there's waiting around. Nice ward there being placed by the Razor to block off this full camp, moving in very aggressively, and with that we actually have 3 people down in the bot lane as well. We have the Omni Knight and Dro, and we have the Barra and Razing top lane to deal with the Juggernaut, so they don't have too much information. They're trying to get quick bounty rooms. Let's see whether they'll be able to, and with that we have a lot of spam, so I think I'll keep it. I think that's a part of Dota that no one wants to really lose out on. And here we go, the Tiny with that early boots being picked up, running into the Omni Knight. Can he displace him? Gets a level in toss, starts punching up the Omni Knight with the Pudge, and the toss back all the way into Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon has the dispersion available. Is he going to use it? No, they're going to focus on getting these runes, and they're going to go on to the Draw Ranger. Actually, the bounty runes are now spawning there. Shadow Demon actually gets one, and there comes the toss once again onto both of these heroes, and the Rot being picked up level 1. Draw Ranger hitting into the Pudge, and First Blood going the way of the Tiny, and one more hit on the Omni Knight, and both of them go down, and that's a double kill for the Tiny at the start of the game. 2 bounties, 2 kills, and what a start. And with that, Pudge will probably want to go and suicide himself, but looks like it is an offlane Pudge, to be honest. So he's going to try and heal up. He has a tango going at the moment, and with that we'll quickly head off to the mid lane matchups. And with that we have early Flame Guard being picked up, so it's usually what you want to pick up against a TA. TA picking up Cyblade, just trying to harass the Ember Spirit as much as possible. Now zoning out with the Flame Guard as well, so decent amount of damage, decent trade there. Might want to plant his branch and use that tango very soon. With that, in the top lane, more dispersion coming out this time onto the Razor, and Razor taking a little bit of damage from himself. And the Draw Ranger once again managing to secure a decent amount of last hits, because the Pudge is still very low. So now, carry going. So looks like Jug has the lane in a pretty decent position. Actually, it's pretty safe, and he has the Shadow Demon to back him up as well. And with that, we have the Pudge, who actually got a salve delivered to him very soon, and he kind of used it, and now level 2 is hit on the Omni-Knight and the Drow Ranger, so they do have a decent bit to work with against the Omni-Knight. Nice pull coming out there. Drow Ranger going to try and control this wave, but that one range creep just refusing to cooperate, to be honest. And mid lane now once again Ember Spirit. Decent, managed to get decent amount of denies, 3 over the 1 of the TA, but the TA has managed to secure a decent amount of last hits. He does have time here and he's managed to get that as well. Top lane, okay, so top lane really nothing much happening. Razor has hit level 2, he has the static link, here it goes, and there comes the disruption with it, charge coming out onto the Spirit Breaker, onto the Juggernaut, and stopping it at the last moment, interestingly enough, not even actually hitting onto the Jug, and more spams coming out this time with the what do you call it, the voice lines. And now the Pudge back to farming, they hit level 2 now, so once again very nice pull. Trying to deny a decent amount of EXP, but with that they should be able to aggro it out onto this range creep here. So with that they're actually missing the range creep EXP, but they do get the camp EXP for it. And once again disruption on the top lane, here comes the second skill, the spin from the Juggernaut, is it going to be enough? And the charge away from the Spirit Breaker into the bot lane. Where is he charging? Okay, I think he just cancels, so he's fine. And with that, he should suicide to tower and TP back. He might want to ask. Okay, no, he's not going to do that. Sorry, he's in the wrong side. With that, Razor, not much damage to his name, and Ember Spirit doing pretty well. 14 last hits to 5 denies against the TA's 13 and 3. TA currently 2 red bands picked up, and now we have the Ember with the Bacillus as well as the usual Stout Shield and Quelling Blade. And with that, now Tiny moving in to try and stop this pull coming out from the Omni-Knight. Omni-Knight has hit level 2, Tiny has hit level 2 as well. They're trying to give their laners as much EXP as possible, and with that, Drow Ranger actually managing to hit level 3. Nice deny coming out from the Pudge right there. And looks like there's a little bit of a movement coming out into the mid lane, but oh, well played. Gets that last hit as well. Why is this not? Hold on, just give me a second, guys. I'm really sorry. I thought I muted it, but apparently not. It is though. Okay, now it should be fine. And with that, more aggressive movements coming out from this Ember Spirit. Has 2 levels inside of his 2 levels in Flame Guard against his TA. So trying his best to zone, not even going for that level in Searing Chains. And with that, looks like top lane they might be able to actually bring down this Razor, but Razor is a little bit too fast, and with that they have the charge and so much damage being stolen by the Razor. 2 levels into the static link, and that is going to be a Shadow Demon going down. And now the Juggernaut needs to be very careful. The Orb of Venom as well, slowing him down. Few more hits, he should be able to Quelling Blade his way out of this, and no more mana on the Razor and no cooldown on his Plasma Field either. So because of that, the Jug should be able to escape, but the Shadow Demon going down, just overextending a little bit in that scenario. And Tiny should be having his face boots getting delivered in the... Is it the full face boots? I don't think so. And with that, cancelling the clarity from the Omni-Knight here, and more frost arrows coming out from the Drow Ranger onto the Pudge. And once again, Ember Spirit actually a little bit behind on terms of level. He just hit level 5, so he should be okay because he does have another full extra wave. And with that, TA is going to rotate into the jungle and see if he can get a few camps stacked up. Will he be able to get last? Yes, he does. He does nice animation on the sound as well. There we go. Tok. Very interesting. It sounds like someone's taking a shot with a revolver. And with that, the haste being activated. Oh, the TA needs to be careful. And with that, the Tiny here with the avalanche. Here comes the flame guard. Does not have searing chains to hold him in place. The Tiny getting bottled up, and I think they might be able to get this kill. And with that, going to pop the refraction as well. Immediately breaks up. Has one more side of it. It should be enough, and that is going to be the Tiny on a killing spree. And with that, Barra actually TPing into the mid lane, but he's not going to be able to do anything with that. And very well played, very good coordination coming out from the Tiny as well as the Ember Spirit. But the Drow Ranger is sitting on top of the net worth right, the last hits right now with 27 to 7. And here we go on to the Razor, it looks like, because they do know that the Spirit Breaker charges the top lane, mid lane, and now with that the spin should be enough. Verify also being used, but he does not have damage. And the Razor turning, the illusions also hitting him, and the the Juggernaut actually might be in trouble. One more hit should be enough to finish him off. Can he get it? The healing ward, just need one hit on it. And oh, he's actually juking and jiving, and he should be fine. One more last hit, one more. And they do actually manage to get the Juggernaut as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the Pudge also goes down, and the Shadow Demon double kill going the way of the Razor. Just overestimating a little bit of the damage. And with that, they managed to kill the Pudge also in the bot lane. So far, 4 kills to 3. The top lane and the bot lane seems to be doing quite well for the side of the Radiant team. So interestingly enough. So once again, looks like Ember Spirit hit 6, going to use that Remnant to pick up that regen rune, denying it to the TA, who is currently level 6 as well, has placed down a few traps. And here comes the Flame Guard once again. Haste rune on. Oh, he actually gets it. He needs to Remnant out. One more. I think this Ember actually is going to get solo kill. One more hit. He misses high ground. Oh, and he actually gets it. Okay, and that was a mistake on the part of the Ember Spirit. Shouldn't have really done that, and he's actually going to pay with that. Another TA, who we thought was actually having a pretty difficult time at once the moment hits level 6, actually gets a solo kill onto the Ember, who kind of overcommitted to the kill, or just kind of misplayed a little bit, sitting at half HP with that regen rune. A nice D-ward coming out from that Omni Knight. Their free goal going towards him, and now the Tiny has face boots. What are they going to do? They're waiting for someone to make a move. He actually blocks the full camp. So what a play coming out from him there, making sure that they don't get anything too much off of that. And with that, we have boots as well as gloves of haste being picked up on the Ember, on the TA, and the Ember Spirit, just the bottle and the boots once again, with the trap going to go off. And you can see Ember taking a decent amount of damage with that. Once again, taking a look at the top lane, Reza actually lost quite a decent amount of his life, sitting at half HP. And with that, they're going to start trading with the Bara. Bara actually has a decent amount of health as well, just has one more tango left, and that is going to be all. He picked up a bracer, has that, he had the orb minimum at the start of the game itself. Looks like they want to make an aggressive move onto the Juggernaut, because he does have level 6 on the Razor, and they're going in with the face boot and the bracer as well. Here comes the disruption from the Shadow Demon, bash coming out to him from Mabel, but he still has the link going, he still has the link coming, but here comes Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit jumping in, does not have change, he's bottling up, he's taking a decent amount of damage from the Razor. Razor, is he going to fight, is he going to turn, what is he going to do? He's joking and driving right now. One more hit, the Shadow Demon actually goes down, 10 seconds dead on him, and the Ember Spirit trying to burn down the Razor should be enough. He actually gets the kill, and 536 gold going towards him. He needs one more side of it, 5 seconds left. Where is the Bara? He's actually joking and driving, and with that, Ember is just trying to find him, but he can't find him. He has one more side of it, it's going to be enough, and a double kill going the way of the Ember Spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, well played, very nice rotation coming out from him, and he definitely paid dividends. And with that, the Tiny actually moving in, into the middle lane to take a little bit of EXP, and with that, we can see the TA using that double damage to kind of farm up a few of those ancients, and Pudge is kind of left to his own devices because he wants to get level 6. That is where he becomes the most optimal. And with that, oh, they're actually making a move onto the TA here. TA with double damage, uses that Mail Strike, does not connect, does one right click before that, gets banished. Here comes the Spirit Breaker with the charge, should be enough, and here comes Omni Knight with the Purification as well. Now fighting up with the Tiny is the Spirit Breaker, eating a few tower shots as well. 2 rotations coming in from the Radiant side. It's been forced, but they do manage to save that TA. So it is going to be pretty okay for them, but that gives the Pudge a decent time in the bot lane. Does manage to get a few extra CS, but with that, the draw range already hit in level 6, has power trades and a triple wraith band, so he's pretty fun. We'll take a look at the net worth. So we have Ember Spirit at the top, then we have TA, Draw Ranger, as well as Razor. So three of the 4 top net worth heroes are actually on the side of the Radiant. It'll be interesting to see how they work with that. But with that, we saw the Shadow Demon and the Tiny smoking up, and let's see what they're going to do with that. And oh, more engagements coming out onto the TA, and TP actually coming in. I'm not sure where with that has that level 1 chains, but now another TP coming in from Spirit Breaker, and he's actually solo killing the TA as well with the base boots. He almost has his drums picked up, and the nice charge coming out from Spirit Breaker as well. Omni Knight is here. I don't think they can chase him down and actually bring him bring him down, to be honest. And with that, the Ember Spirit is away, and with that, now the Tiny and the Shadow Demon once again just waiting in for anyone who's going to show in the mid lane, and we'll probably see them go down as well. And now the smoke actually breaks down. Do they see the Shadow Demon? No, they do not. So with that, once again it says Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Now it is now die time, and they see Omni Knight in the lane. Are they going to try and commit for this kill? TA has respawned, he's going to TP in, and what are they going to do actually? And here comes the engagement. Nice 2-man steering chain. Omni Knight and TA actually going to lose most of his health, and here comes Avalanche once again. Toss needed, but he's going to use that Mail Strike. Charge in from the Spirit Breaker, and they're going to burst down the Tiny. Tiny is dead for another 14 seconds, and now Razor coming in, managing to steal a decent amount of damage from the Ember Spirit. He pops his wand as well, and with that he kills the Shadow Demon, and they're not going to chase the Ember Spirit. And with that, it is going to be a 2-for-0 trade. Well played. Nice rotations coming in from this side of the Radiant team. And now Razor, after securing the top T1 tower, he has they put the Draw Ranger here in the top lane. He's just farming up a stack very, very happily, and with that he's going to go into a Dragon Lance and just try to get as much safe farm as possible, because they have basically secured the top lane, but they do have a vision here to know where the Draw Ranger is. But with that, the Pudge is also getting a decent amount, going into a Vanguard. Should be having it done decently soon, maybe 2-3 minutes. And with that, Razor going to, oops, sorry about that. Razer going to rotate it in, rotate into the bot lane. He needs to be careful. There are 4 heroes here. Looks like Jug also avoiding the top lane. Has only phase boots and he's going to move bot. And looks like 4-man rotation coming into the bot lane. And Spirit Breaker actually TPs in. Are they going to scan and try to see whether they can actually find him out? Or are they going to give up this tower? I think they might want to, but the Razer and Omni Knight are here. Are they going to fight this on the side of the Radiant team? But the tower is gone. They're going to move in. Do they see the Spirit Breaker? Oh, they actually see him. And with that, the Draw Ranger actually goes down to the Ember Spirit as well in the top lane. But now the Spirit Breaker actually getting caught out, and they look at the HP he loses with that Shadow Demon Soul Catcher. Oh my goodness. So with that, Zug going to TP himself to the top T2, and he's going to secure himself a decent amount of farm and nice rotation coming in. Once again, they know that there's some sort of vision. They saw the Draw Ranger at half HP, so the Ember Spirit was able to capitalize on that, going back to base, getting a little bit of a refuel on the bottle as well as mana and HP. And with that, looks like TA is going to be able to get an Invis Rune as well. Does not have a bottle, but he uses it anyway. Has a few traps set up in the mid lane, and with that, TA going to pass the Ember as well. So where the Draw Ranger going to go, the Draw Ranger actually hits the jungle, very close to that Dragon Lance. So once again, movement into the mid lane. TA needs to be careful, going to use the trap once again, popping that as well. And now losing the refraction charge that he had with that Ember Spirit, actually going to use his send his remnant all the way back, and he's going to back off, and rightly so. With that, he has on the side of his into change. He needs to be very careful. Oh, Tiny actually trying to go onto the Razor, but looks like they don't want to commit too much because Shadow Demon actually had to rotate all the way around. And with that, Pudge going to use the hook, does not connect onto the TA. Once again, we see a trap being placed down. The Pudge now in a very awkward space, going to get pushed down the Mel Strike, and he's going to get bursted so fast. Oh, that was terrible. He tried, but not something you really want to do. I mean, if he had gotten the hook, he probably would have gotten the kill, because Pudge in general is pretty good against TA, against its refractions, but that Mel hit did so much damage, and we just triple red bands. And with that, now once again we see the Ember Spirit going in on the TA. TA does not have refraction. Here comes the charge in and the ultimate from Spirit Breaker, and the Ember Spirit just over committing, and that is going to be another kill going the way of the TA, and TA going to get 379 gold with that. And tips coming out as well, and more now pings coming out in the top lane. Looks like they want to set up for the Razor, who is currently level 9 and going hitting into an Eul's Scepter. Has a clarity going, he's trying to juke and drive into the trees. Do they guess properly? Yes, they actually see the static field actually using and getting hit, and here comes Shadow Demon right from him, going to use that second Soul Catcher as well. And this should be a dead Razor. I mean, a little more HP. Do they have a toss? Yes, they do. One more hit should be enough, and that is, it's going to be going to towards the way of the Tiny, who gets around 313 gold. So huge wave here for the Juggernaut, and Pudge is going to happily be farming this bot lane. He's going to have his Vanguard, and TA very close to that Desert. Look at this attack speed, nice, with the 25 attack speed talent as well. But with that rotation coming in from the what would you call it, the TP coming in from the Ember Spirit to the mid lane. He's just going to try and get rid of most of these traps. Bought himself a sentry, got a javelin as well, so he's very close to his Maelstrom. And meanwhile, the Dragon Lance being picked up on the Draw Range, and he's having a very nice time just hitting jungle creeps. So more vision, just trying to get rid of some vision, get some vision up. Looks like the Radiant team actually want to play a bit safe. The timing will probably be with the TA once she gets maybe a Deso BKB, but she's looking for. And maybe then they can actually try to do something. And with that, now the Ember Spirit trying to rotate in. You can see the marks being drawn by the Omni Knight, and they're just trying to say, don't cross this line, try to stay behind this line, just farm up whatever you can there. And with that, we have the rotation coming into the bottom lane from the Ember Spirit, and the Pudge chilling. He has picked up his Vanguard as well, so he's sitting at 1690 HP. And with that, looks like we do have an engagement on the top lane. They're going to try to go on the Jug going to pop that healing ward. Are they going to commit? Oh, more bounty runes coming up. Here comes the charge onto this Shadow Demon. But here comes the ultimate as well from the Spirit Breaker, and he's actually probably going to go down on the side of the Shadow Demon. And with that, Jug needs to run more mission in place. Guardian Knight, Guardian Angel also being used. And with that, they actually lose the Pudge in the mid lane, and now here comes the commitment from the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit going up against the TA. Here comes the Mel Strike, the silence as well. He should probably go down, going to use that the wand as well, but it's not going to be enough. And if anything, he had to deal with the Spirit Breaker charge as well. And now we have the Jug running in. He does have the Omni Stash available. No Guardian Angel. Is he going to go on to the Spirit Breaker? Yes, he is. But here comes the Repel, or the new Repel what is it called? Heavenly Grace coming out from onto the Spirit Breaker, and he's going to get extra HP as well as tankiness. So that's a wasted Omni Slash right there, ladies and gents. So with that, all of a sudden, a few throws coming out from the Dire team actually just trying to make a few plays, nothing really working out, but very calculated movement being coming out from the side of the Radiant team as well, and they kind of secured the two soft spots with the TA as well as the Draw Ranger. Oh, looks like they're actually heading into Roshan, and right now they are going to be able to get it quite fast, and this Aegis should be going the way of the Templar Assassin, and he's going to pick it up, and now he's extremely strong. So looks like we might be, the Radiant team actually might be hitting the timing very soon, because the side of the Dire team, other than the Ember, really don't have too much to work with, but they do have the parts to pull out anyone out of position and try to burst it down. There is a Haystone, but they picked up 2 Bounty Drones in the bot lane. Ooh, interesting. Interesting why they would leave that. I'm pretty sure because they didn't have vision, they just kind of gave it up, and now Ember should be finding himself a Haystone. Yes, he does. And with that, more pressure coming out onto the bot lane, and now we see Draw Ranger as well as Razor in the top lane has picked up his use double bracer. So he's now sitting at about 1665 HP, very tanky. Juggernaut only has the Yasha picked up. Trying to go into a Manta style for the moment, and with that TA just farming up. Going to be very interesting to see how they kind of use the Aegis, whether they're going to actually use it just to kind of farm and wait a little bit until the TA has BKB, so they're strong enough to fight, and they won't have to deal with too much, or they're actually going to try and take objectives, but the Razor is there for that. And once again, item being delivered this time to the Draw Ranger who has picked up his Yasha, and now the Jug needs to be very careful. We have all 5 of them converging very nicely on the side of the Radiant team. Where are they going to go is the question. So once again, another trap being used. They do have vision on the high ground right now, and looks like there's going to be a charge on the top lane. Juggernaut is actually going to go down with that control. They might have seen the path creeping in, and with that the Ember Spirit comes in as well, gets a chain on it too, and here comes the ultimate onto the Sparge, and the Jug actually bites back, he's creeping in. Dismember comes up, but it's not going to be enough, and oh, Guardian Angel just in the right time will be enough. No, the Ember Spirit actually goes down himself, and now the Juggernaut going into the Omni Slash, hitting the hitting Spirit Break actually, and Spirit Break actually goes down, and now the Blink damage coming out on TA actually fighting up. Aegis being used, and he was coming out onto the Ember Spirit who actually bought back, and here comes the silence. This might be a dieback onto the Ember. Just needs a little bit more from the other side of his. Few more hits, the chain coming out. Draw Ranger going to finish him off. What about the TA? TA is fine for the moment. They're chasing the Juggernaut. They do have a trap. They pop it as well. They're going on to the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is going to get taken down, and that is going to be a very successful fight for the side of the Radiant team. Only losing the Spirit Breaker. 2 buybacks being used on the side of the Dire team, and they're actually going to live with the Juggernaut, but the Ember Spirit actually dies back. So very unfortunate for them, and with that looks like they're actually going to head high ground. The Aegis was used, and very close to the BKB is the TA. So once again, high ground vision. Here comes the Spirit Breaker. Hooks comes out, does not connect, and with that the creeps walk in. Now what are they going to do here? Vanguard picked up, has phase boots, has flame sticks as well. Here comes the fortification. Ember Spirit back in 30 seconds. Are they going to commit here? Are they going to stay? Spirit Breaker on his way, currently just charging along the lines. He's going in, boy, he's going in, and he actually hits the Shadow Demon, and then he actually manages to get back out as well, and with that, they do have the Omni Knight for sustain, but I think this is get back here. If they got the T3, they would have gotten Shrines on their way out, but the Ember Spirit is back in 10 seconds, so they don't really want to overstay their welcome. And with that, enemy tower 7% HP, exactly. Thank you for that information. And with that, we have TA going back to farming very close. It's about 200 gold away from that BKB. And then you won't have to worry about too much. You can probably just go ham. But they did lose the Aegis. The Aegis should be... It still has a decent amount of time for it to pick up, and with that there's a DD being picked up by the TA as well, and now the Draw Ranger just farming up. He's going in for a Manta as well, so he should be having the ultimate orb already, and his smoke play coming out from the side of the Dire team. They don't want to waste too much time. If they can catch this TA, Omni Knight or anyone, it's going to be a very good pick off if they can get it. Sentries being placed. Spirit Breaker on the high ground, breaks the smoke. Here comes the Tiny, gets the stun onto the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to charge away using his bulldoze as well, and he's going to be able to get out. How unfortunate for them there. Very unfortunate, to be honest. And with that, Spirit Breaker, TP's up. Once again, we'll just take a quick update onto the Ember Spirit. He hasn't even finished his Maelstrom, so the 2 deaths in a row actually hurt him quite a bit. and he has the Maelstrom kind of completed now. And with that, once again we see the charge coming out from the Spirit Breaker. Are they going to be able to catch this Ember Spirit is the question. The BKB is also done on the TA, and once again a trap being used somewhere, not exactly sure where, but it's going to pop anyway. Here comes Spirit Breaker, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to actually almost immediately, without even going through with it, he's going to meet up his team. And looks like they want to pressure this T2. Will there be a defense coming out from the side of the Dire team? Or will there be nothing? Will there be nothing? Alright, now the TA kind of is placing a few traps here and there. They're looking to take control of this area, try and cripple the side of the Dire team, try to restrict them from farming in their own jungle. And you can see that they're doing a pretty good job, and with that, the Draw Ranger should be very, very close to his Manta style. We're going to let him, he actually has it done, so he's going to Butterfly. He's going to be very, very strong. It's going to be very difficult to burst him, and with that, here comes the charge onto the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon should probably go down. Avalanche is there, but with the Purification, he's actually going to die. Nice vision, and here comes the Ember Spirit as well. Going to just fake out that Nether Strike, but should be fine. And with that, we have Draw Rangers pushing him. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, so we're back, and now they're pressing the T2 right now. Ember Spirit actually managed to try and get this T1 tower, but fortification immediately used. And with that, Draw Ranger outside the range of the tower, just doing Draw Ranger things. They're going to lose the T2, and charge coming into the mid lane. Omnite going to TP as well, and here comes the ping, and he's actually going to take a decent amount of damage from the Ember Spirit there. And he has the Maelstrom down, but are they going to chase him? Are they going to chase him? The TA is around, he does not have a Blink Dagger as well. Spirit Breaker, here he comes, and there comes. Oh, he actually charges all the way back, so well played by the Ember Spirit there too. Get out, but he did manage to buy some time, but they still did lose that T2 tower in the bot lane. And with that, Jug very, very close to his first item, Manta Style. He actually managed to get the Yasha at a decent timing, but he does not have the money for his Manta Style. Just pick it up now, he just gets it, so he has a Manta Style, getting it delivered to the bot lane. They're trying to stay grouped, and now only the Razor is in the bot lane, trying to finish up his BKB as well. Should be very close to it, 1600, so just about 400 gold away, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, more pings coming out. They might be waiting for Roshan. Roshan should be spawning quite soon. And now another smoke here. They do see two players. What are they going to do? Are they going to lead with the Tiny? Are they going to lead with the Pulse? Here comes the starting combination. A nice 3-man silence. And this should be a dead Tiny, but he actually gets out, and here comes Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon making sure that Draw Ranger loses half of this. He's standing and fighting, doesn't have enough silence, but here comes the Guardian Angel. Draw Ranger actually going to go down, and Shadow Demon buying back as well. Now they're chasing the path with 3 heroes, and another one trying to focus down this Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit BKB being used by the TA. Ember Spirit managing to get onto the high ground, but a charge coming out from Spirit Breaker going to stop both of them, and the Remnant is there. The TA is there. Here comes Omni Slash as well, trying to focus down the Spirit Breaker. Pretty nice stuff coming out from Shiny as well, blinking, and the TA falling very, very low. Juggernaut, but the purification is there, and the fight actually looks very bad for the side of the Radiant team. Razor is the only one alive. One more actually should be enough to bring down the Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit actually dodges it with the slide of fist, and with that they're going to chase him down. 3 heroes down on the side of the Radiant team. What a disastrous fight for them right now. Very, very good fight for the side of the Radiant team. The Pulse does go down, the Shadowman goes down, but he actually does buy back and come and continue to the fight, and that is a bit of a messy split up fight. They couldn't focus down the targets that they wanted to, and Razor and Omnite are going to be the only two who are able to get out of there. The Draw Ranger also going down, so a decent amount of gold going back the way of the Dire team.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright. Just checking for more vision here. They do have the Maelstrom is going in for a used scepter. What is the TA going in for? TA has picked up a Dragon Lance, interestingly enough. So not opting for the mobility, just wanting to get more range and try to fight from far. Just use that benefit as much as possible. I mean, the Hurricane Pipe disengage is quite nice as well. So we might see the Draw Ranger going in for that as well. So as you can see, he already picked up that Hurricane Pipe to distance himself from the Pudge, the Ember, or the Tiny, if necessary, or even from the Jug. But right now, the guys are just farming up, and Roshan should be up shortly. That team is actually doing a decent job, but it's about 10k lead right now. So I think if they can take one more good fight like that, they can actually manage to do something. But once the Draw Ranger either picks up a BKB or this Butterfly, he's going to be very difficult to deal with, because you can't just run at him anymore. He can just stand and fight you guys. And Shadow Demon needs to not die, because Soul Catcher is very important in helping them burst down most of these heroes. Oh, very interesting. What placement? So with that, now the Razor is pushing in the top lane. He's always sitting at very low HP, not exactly sure why, but there's a decent amount of HP region, as you can see, is actually going quite fast. He actually puts his braces back in as well, so he gets maximum healing out of the Omni-Knight. Purification on alright. With that, now Tiny pushing in the top lane. He has picked up a Blink and Echo Saber as well, so he has a decent amount of damage. He can burst a few people as well, but they're going to lose the top tower, and with that, they're going to take down this top shrine because it's very important to give them access to the Roshan. So it looks like a long spawn Roshan, so it's very unlucky for the side of the Radiant team. And with that, the Ember Spirit going to try and push out the mid lane. They do not have information on where the Radiant team is playing right now. They do see where the TA is at the moment. They don't see where the rest of the team is there. Razor, actually trying to go. Ooh, turns around almost immediately, sees the Shadow Demon as well as the Paz and doesn't want anything to do with that. And he's going to be able to devour that sentry as well. Just trying to keep all the lanes pushing, only the bot lane, even the bot lane now pushing in towards the Dire team. The rest have been pushing in now, the top lane is pushed in and the mid lane is pushed in as well. And with that we have the 5 players on the side of Dire just waiting for something to happen. And TA is just gonna rotate into the bot area of the map and he's gonna start pushing it out. Maybe most probably doesn't want to really show because that might give the Dire team a go to push. I mean, just try to find out where this team is and just try and take a fight, 5 versus 4, maybe a very good chance at least. But with that, we'll see. They do show TA in the bot lane, and what are they going to do after that? They do have boundary runes coming up in about 3 minutes, and with that, Roshan actually has spawned as well, and TA is now merrily making her way to the pit. And with that, what is the Dire team going to do? They should probably figure out that something is happening here. 10,080 blades dance crits. Interesting. Has picked up Maelstrom on the Jug as well, so he has managed to get a decent amount of items, but with that Aegis going down, Roshan going down, she's being picked up by the Drow Ranger, and here comes the Aegis once again onto the TA, who now has a Dragon Lance, and with that they're charging in onto the Shadow Demon. They have the Trap Vision as well, the synergy from this, and the jump in protection coming out from the Ember as well as the Tiny not going to be enough, and Shadow Demon actually gets taken down. Ultimate coming off onto the Pudge here, Pudge running in, this is the Rot as well, and Ember Spirit jumping into five heroes right now. Is he going to be able to get out? Yes, he is, and with that Razor, BK being taking away all the damage that the Jug can offer him, 166 damage taken away from him, and this tower should melt really fast, and with that the split shot is being activated, but with the next wave they should be quite a decent amount of damage trouble. And with that TA coming on the high ground, going to use the refraction as well. Post-up comes in, and Tiny might be able to displace him at the moment, but not going to be able to. And with that they're going to start focusing on these melee racks. You can see all of them clumped up, more side of his chains coming out, silence coming out of the Pudge as well. They should be able to secure themselves this melee racks they do. And are they going to move to the top lane? Yes, yeah, there's no tower there, and once again side of this coming in, not doing too much damage. Omni-Knight is there to keep them healthy, and hook might come out from the Pudge. Pudge trying to get as close as possible, managed to land the hook onto the Pudge, onto the TA, but here comes no dismember. The silence comes out, they're going to start fighting up. Juggernaut actually comes in, starts spinning, and the Drow Ranger with the Hurricane Pike as well. Now the Pudge super tanky, and he actually managed to save him. Oh, the toss with the Tiny, but they're still going to lose 2 sides of racks. How unfortunate for them there. They do manage to lose 2 melee racks, and with that they actually finish off the full top set, and with that they should be able to disengage, and they're trying to head back right now. The Shadow Demon has respawned, the Ember's trying to chase, silence comes out, Evil's being used, the Doran needs to be careful, does have the cheese if he wants to use it. Is she going to fight up at the moment? Cheese, here comes cheese, and once again the Ember Spirit and the Juggernaut in trouble, does not have enough to use. Ember Spirit actually being ignored, and he's actually going to get taken down. He has buyback if he wants to use it. They're chasing the Juggernaut, they've taken down the healing ward as well. They managed to get the Aegis on the TA, buyback coming out from the Ember Spirit, but just like that, even the Juggernaut going down, buyback from the Pudge as well. They're coming in, Razor with a lot of stolen damage running onto the Ember Spirit, but it's not going to be enough, it looks like. And Shadow Demon actually surviving with next to nothing in terms of HP. They lose nothing, and they take everything. And with that, just the mid-range racks as well as the top racks.
I'll take that.
Gold is a great conductor. Using echolocation?
Illusion.
Alright, we're back in the game, guys. Sorry. So we saw the Radiant team actually hitting the timing quite well. They managed to get secure themselves a decent amount of racks actually, and they're playing it very safe. Interesting enough, they're not trying to end the game at the moment. They are quite strong. It looks like the TA actually wants to head into a hex as well, and the Joe Ranger should have that butterfly available. Yes, she does. So she's pretty strong. That she's came in very clutch as well. So right now the Dire team finding it very difficult to kind of just get out of their base. I mean, there's so many creeps sitting into them. As you can see, they're lacking a decent amount of damage to clear off most of these waves. They're trying to get rid of as many as they can, but with the help of the tiny tree grab, I think they should be able to do it. And so far things not looking too great for the Dire team. They did manage to take one really good fight. So with that, guys, let's see how things go out. And now once again, they're just trying to hold on the high ground, and so yeah. Just trying to hold high ground at the moment, and now we can see the smoke coming out from the side of the Radiant team. How they're going to approach this. The Juggernaut has been charged up. Coming in is the Spirit Breaker. They're going to try backing off, it looks like. And here comes the charge. The TA actually going to reveal herself. Oh, the smoke actually breaks, and the Juggernaut will be fast enough to kind of back off. And they might start working in the mid lane here. They start pushing it in. Yes, they do. Here comes the chains. Here comes the hook. Oh, but the Hurricane Pike is there to save him as well. So he's going to be able to get out. And the Crimson Guard being picked up by the Pudge as well. And with that, we see more chains, but once again, just baiting it out, keeping those Hurricane Pikes to save each other. And I think Omni Knight has a 4-staff as well, so yeah. Good team coordination coming out from most of these teams. Is Pudge going to go for a blind hook, and here once again a trap comes down. They're going to break it, and they're going to look to take this last set of racks. More side of this coming in. Lotus Off being used to remove most of these debuffs, and once again the Rays are now running in. Another side of fist with change, but not actually connecting onto the TA. They're actually going to manage to get the hook there onto the TA, and here comes the BKB, but the dismember is there. Silence comes out, and look at the damage getting pumped out from the draw range, and the time down. Omni Knight actually losing so much HP, almost down, does not get the Guardian Edge. Oh, it gets it in time, but the Ember Spirit jump is there. Tiny actually going to go down, and now it's going to be the Ember Spirit's turn next. One more right click should be enough. This actually goes down. Buyback coming in from Tiny now. Juggernaut, Omnisat managed to bring down the draw ranger as well as Omni Knight. The Spirit Breaker also going down. It's only going to be the Razer and the GA, and all the buybacks coming in. Draw Ranger buying back, Spirit Breaker buying back. They do get the banish onto the Razer here. He's going to get comboed up. He's going to be enough. Once again, using that. Does he have the BKB? No, he does not. It's on cooler. Is he fast enough? Juggernaut also here. Will they be able to bring him down? Will they be able to chase him and kill him? But here comes the GA coming in once again. The charge onto the Shadow Demon. Juggernaut losing so much of his damage. He's going to spin, but he's losing so much. He's losing so much. 100, almost 200 damage being given away. And here comes the charge on Spirit Breaker. Blink, stun toss combination coming in from the Tiny, but it will be enough to bring down the Razor. No, it is not going to. And now the drone is actually coming back in once again, and looks like Maldives might be able to take this game. The Radiant team should be able to win it, and now the last set of racks is going to be Mega Crypts after this. Can the Dire team hold for? They have another 47 seconds on the Ember Spirit. Silence onto the Shadow Demon, nothing to do with that. He's going to go down, and I think that should be it, ladies and gentlemen. Good game, well played. It's called by the Juggernaut, and that is going to be it. So looks like the team from Maldives is going to be able to secure this game and take it home. GG, well played. So that was actually a very interesting match. It was pretty close at the start, and then they started fighting, and the Radiant team actually managed to get a decent amount of decent advantage off of it. And with that, we actually saw the Dire team actually took a very good fight initially, but then that kind of didn't work out. I mean, afterwards, I mean, they did manage to win one fight, but the Radiant team was so far ahead that they actually couldn't really come back into the game. So with that, guys, we are going to Nepal won. Oh, sorry. So sorry, my mistake. So Nepal won. My mistake. Sorry about that. So Nepal actually took the match over Malaysia. I mean Maldives. There. Extremely sorry. So congratulations to them. Well played. And just my mistake there. Really sorry. I just read the names wrong. But with that, we are going to end the stream for now, and we'll come back when we have the next game. So stay tuned for more Dota 2 action from this Tri-nation series, and we'll catch you when the next game happens. Thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon.